What's up, guys? So I don't really do YouTube videos like this. It's probably my first, it actually is my first time making a tutorial like this, but people have been requesting how to do a taper lately, and I just kind of felt like showing you guys instead of just telling you. So basically I start off with the wall balding clipper, and I start to bald out the bottom of the sideburn. And as you can tell, I left the top of the balding circular. The reason why I did this was because it makes the fade circular. You don't want it to just be straight up and look awkward. But I mean, I guess every barber is different. It's just the way I do it. Next, I start off with the Osterfast Feeds No Guard Open, and I make my second guideline about an inch up. Then after that, I close the teeth, and I use it closed just to knock out that bottom line by flicking out. You never want to push into the head because you just create another guideline. So I would use the corner of the teeth, or kind of just softly flick out your wrist. Next, I used Osterfast Feeds No Guard halfway in order to smoothen out the top and the bottom portion of the fade. The taper. And if it doesn't work with that, I kind of just trigger play. By that I mean I open and close the machine in order to take out any dark spots that were left over. Next, I use the number 0 or the 1/16 guard closed in order to make my third guideline, and I use it about half an inch up. I try not to go too up because then the fade's just gonna look really high. You don't want to make the fade too high because then it just looks weird. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see because my arm gets in the way, but I really had no other place to put the camera. Next, I use the number 2 guard closed, and I just knock out the bulk on top. There's no real size for this. You kind of just go off with your eye. You want to smoothen out the top of the blend, and you don't want to leave it too dark and too much hair because then it just looks like a mushroom on their head. So you kind of just gotta go up by which you go. But on this cut, I think I went about an inch or two just to knock out the dark spots on top of his hair. Next, I use the number 1 guard closed to knock out that bottom line. And with this, you don't really take out the bottom line. You're kind of setting another guideline. So then you open the number 1 guard and you begin to flick out the top of the fade. Just to see what I'm doing. It's kind of hard to show, but yeah, I opened the guard and I began to flick out the top of that line and try to just blend it as much as I can. By flicking out, this is what I mean by flicking out. You don't want to push into the head too hard because you're just going to create another guideline. So you want to scoop out the machine. So like softly, like barely scooping out. I'm just kind of exaggerating it right now because I want you guys to see what I mean by scooping out. And onto the lineup. I usually start from the bottom and make my way to the top. I don't know why, it's just preference, but for this purpose of the video, I started at the top and I began lining them up. Honestly, some people like it square, some people like it round. I just make it round for everyone. I think it looks fresh. I was kind of upset that I didn't really get good footage of the lineup in the front, but basically what I did was I hit it with the trimmers. It was kind of hard to get all his little baby hairs because they kind of just moved once I cut him. But yeah, this is me just hitting the edge up with the straight razor. You want to pull the skin back with the thumb and have the blade tilted at like a 45-degree angle, because if not, you're gonna cut him. And this is the final results. It's just a regular taper, crisp lineup. I didn't really get to show the back taper either because of how the camera was positioned. It was just all bad. Hopefully next time I can get a better angle. But thanks for watching, and